Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today it's time for another deck date, and today is actually the first video where I not only draw the deck pairing but I really talk about the deck combination that we drew last week. How I yeah, how I have found working with these two in combination, and if I think that this combination, this random combination, is a match or not. So I really was surprised, or let me say this would be a combination of tarot and oracle deck that I wouldn't consider doing if I would consciously pair a tarot and an oracle deck, which I do a lot and I love to do, but I really, when I do that, my conscious pairings are like what what two decks are looking good together. What two decks have a similar art style or a similar color palette, a similar energy to them, um, um, a similar theme or something like that, and these two are the complete opposites. So quite interesting that for the first pairing of decks in this series we actually got a combination that is one of those combinations that are complete opposites, at least in my point of view, and that I wouldn't have paired together necessarily if I had a choice to. But this is all about random deck pairings and see how they work together to find those hidden treasures under the deck combinations that you wouldn't consider doing or combining, but that actually work pretty well together. And this is inspired by Dawn Michelle over at Boho Tarot. I will have a link in the video description to her video where she talked about those deck combinations that are complete opposites, but that work really well together. And it was quite interesting, and it gave me the idea to do this deck form or this video format actually. So if you haven't watched the video last week where I drew these two decks and you don't know which decks we're talking about, read through for the tarot deck, the Langustl Tarot. This is an independent published deck. It is not really popular or well known. It is published in Germany where I live. Um, yeah, and it's a quite interesting deck. It's really colorful. It's painted, and you can see actually in the artwork, I don't know if the camera will show it, you can see the texture of the material that was used and the colors sometimes, the paint strikes and all of that. So you can really see that this was hand painted. Um, and it is really colorful. It uses really bright, high saturated colors. It uses strong contrasts. Um, yeah, and on the other hand, and before I come to the Oracle deck, this is by a German artist and tarot reader who goes under the name Langustl. His real name is Stefan Lange. And on the other hand, we have the Oracle deck, the Cosmic Reading Cards. This is a mass market deck. It is published by Rockpool Publishing. This is by Nari Anastasia. And as the name of the deck says, it is really cosmic, also in the artwork. Like you have these cosmic colors of blues and violets and some more darker cosmic colors. You get the sense of the stars and yeah, of the cosmos in the artwork. um I don't know actually what you call this, but you can see the difference. You can't really see the texture. I don't think that this is probably just hand drawn. Let's see if the guidebook says something. I'm not an art expert by any means, as much as I enjoy to look at art. Uh, let's see if it says something. Uh, I should have looked this up before I started recording. I don't think I don't think that it says something about this art style. Mm, no, not really. Okay, I need to stop looking. This is taking me too long. But if I will find something in the guidebook, or I will let you know in the comment section or in the video description. Or if you know what this art style is, let me know down in the comments as well. But these two are pretty different. Um, Starting with the art style and yeah, ending with the energy and how they feel in the reading and what they give to you in a reading. Also, with this deck combination, not only the combination itself was new for me and was a thing that I wouldn't have thought about combining these two decks, but also working with the Langustl tarot was a new experience for me because I haven't worked with this deck before. So it was quite a quite interesting week for me because I got to know this deck and it was my first week working with it and get a feel for how it reads and stuff and if it works for me or not because actually this deck was at my sell or giveaway list because I found it quite interesting, but never felt the I never felt drawn to use it. So, but after this week, I'm glad I didn't give it away and wanted to give it a chance to, yeah, get to know it and to show me what the stack has, yeah, what the stack is capable of actually. So let's start with this. Actually, what you see right here is my daily pull that I did with these two cards or with these two decks. I pulled one tarot card, one oracle card at the start of each day to get a message for the day and to see how they work together in the most simple way by just pulling one card of each deck and to use them regularly so that I can give you a sense of not only do they work in a big spread or in one reading, but they did work together um, always or quite regularly or not. And this was my daily pull for today. And I mean, how well do they work together? We have the Six of Coins or the Six of Pentacles and Compassion. I mean, what a match is this? And just in terms of the meaning necessarily, the the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving, finding that balance, having compassion for another one, sharing your resources, your knowledge, your energy. Um, and so to have the compassion card, I mean, it fits perfectly. So they really harmonize together in the way, yeah, in the messages that they give, but they harmonize, but they expand the messages of the other deck as well, which I really like. And also look at the artwork. I mean, it's pretty different in terms of art style, but you can still see you have these orangey, goldeny brown kind of colors that you have here in the background. You have the purple that you have here, the energy exchange, the energy flow. It's almost like the energy that is coming out of her head, that connection, that crown chakra that is opening right here. Um, is you can see it here connecting between these two. So maybe you can even go so far to say that maybe these two are not necessarily a connection between two normal people, but a connection um, between a person and the higher self, and exchanging knowledge and energy and guidance. And yeah, so beautiful how they read together, even though they are so different. So I would really say that these two decks are a match, even though at first glance they look really different. Um, they really work beautifully together. Um, as I said, they really expand each other's message, but they also, what they give you as a message is really harmonizing. So I hadn't had a combination of cards where I would say these two don't make any sense in that combination and they actually clash or something. And as you have seen, the artwork, even though it is quite different, there are still connections between the two, which you can get a quite good intuitive reading from them as well. And what I also would say is they have quite different energies. While this deck feels very cosmic, very spiritual, spirit like, ethereal almost at some point, connecting to your higher self, finding, yeah, all that stuff that has to do with spiritual things. This deck feels more grounded, more not earthy, but more fiery. And fire for some is the element of spirit as well, the spirit within us. Um, but there's a difference between the element of fire and the element of spirit. Maybe that is why they work so good together, is the spirit within us, the spirit in our everyday life, the spirit that we can awaken in ourselves. Um, and what is surrounding us in our material world, and then expanding that in the cosmic spiritual higher self, universal kind of energy. So that is what I was getting from these two decks. So let's do some other combinations so that you can see how these would work together. So we have Surrender and the Six of Cups. I mean, I think that that was a combination that I also had in my monthly reading for the month of December, where I used these two cards together. Um, and what a perfect thing. Surrender to what was in the past. Don't put your head around it too much. You can't change it. You need to learn how to move forward from that and integrate that. And also just surrender to what is right now, and not having the need all the time to need to control a situation, need to know everything at once, overanalyze it. Just let it be and see where it goes. That light-hearted child energy here that we get with the Six of Cups as well. So gorgeous combination right here. And you get that sense of flowing water here with the water that is coming from above, and she is in the water and her hair. You get a sense of flowing water right here. It's almost like she's standing under these cups that are pouring this water energy over her. Perfect. So next we have Mother Earth and the Queen of Wands. I mean, we in both cards we have Mother energy. Um, And this is quite interesting because we have that creative energy with the Queen of Wands, and we have the Mother Earth energy, which is also about creation. Um, the creation that is around us and how we can use this um, that is given from Mother Earth that is already here and use our creativity to create something out of that we have around us that we already have accomplished. Um, so pretty interesting. And we have patience and the Seven of Wands. And I swear to you, these cards aren't planned out. I haven't sit here and um, looked for the card combinations that I wanted and ordered decks in the way. I just have pulled these out and now I'm pulling cards from them. So Seven of Wands that need to defend ourselves, to defend our beliefs, our position, but we have the higher ground. And maybe in this case, we don't need to actively defend ourselves, but we just need and fight, but we just need to have patience and sit it out, because it will solve itself um, without the need of doing something about it. So I really love this deck combination. I would say that this is definitely a match, even though they are looking quite different. They have quite different art styles. They bring different energies to the table. This the more spiritual, cosmic, universal energy. This the more everyday life, simple, but also really fiery, creative energy. And these two together really work well, as you have seen. So, yeah, I'm really surprised of this deck combination that it worked so well for me. And I'm really surprised that the Langustl Tarot actually worked for me as well. I really love working with this deck, even and I haven't expected that because, as I said, I never felt drawn to using it. And I also, when I looked through the deck, it made me feel a little bit too bright and too in your face in terms of the artwork. But now that I have used it in readings, I really love how it reads. And I really love this deck combination. This will probably be a deck combination that I will use from time to time. Um, because I really love it. And I'm glad that I did, that I decided to do this deck dates because otherwise I wouldn't have experienced this deck combination. So after rambling, let's actually pull the decks for next week, where we talk about next week, and for me, where I will work with in this week. So first of all, let's pull a tarot deck. And we have the Secret Tarot. All right. The Secret Tarot. And now let's pull a Oracle deck. Which Oracle deck should we use with it? And with the Earthbound Oracle. That is a quite interesting combination as well. I can say that this combination, I wouldn't have considered combining these two decks together. Um, So let's actually pull these. We have the Secret Tarot. This is an older version. This is the 1998 version, I think, but you can still get this deck. It is a mass-produced deck. It just has different backs of the cards and another, the Nine of Pentacles, I think, is on the box right now, and a little bit of another layout in terms of where the titles are and stuff. But the imagery on the cards is still the same. Um, so if you're interested in getting it, you can get this deck. So yeah, and the Earthbound Oracle, I have it right here. So these are the two decks. This is an independent published Oracle deck. I don't know if it's currently available or not. I believe that his wooden tarot is still available, but with the Oracle and the fitting Lenormand, I'm not sure. I need to look this up. So yeah, The Secret Tarot by Marco Nisoli, The Earthbound Oracle by Skull Garden and A.L. Swartz. So let's just open them up and get a first glance of how they would look together. The Earthbound Oracle is one of my favorite oracles of all time. I love this deck so much. I love working with it. I get perfect messages. I have used this in combination with a tarot and other oracle and Lenormand as well, and I love it. With the Secret Tarot, I'm not sure actually. I have used this before, so this isn't like a complete surprise with like the Langustl Tarot, where I haven't even used it once before this week. But I have used it, but not really often, and I'm not sure if I can connect with it or not. So this is on my I'm at a fence with this. So I'm really happy to get a chance to work with it for this week so that I can decide if I connect with it or not, so that it's not in that juggly, wobbly, unsure position any longer. So I hope I will, after this week, be able to make a decision. And I'm happy to work with this deck because I love it so much. So the High Priestess and Protect with the lock. I mean, perfect. The Magician and Bond. Here you can still see some color matches. The Fool and the Self. Perfect match, I think. So at first glance, even though they are pretty different in terms of art style and in terms of theme, the Empress and Perseverance. I mean, what a perfect match with the salmon here. I think it is a salmon, at least I read it like that. And the message behind that, and the Empress. So at first glance, they look quite different, but they actually seem to harmonize really well in terms of the messages. And you have seen that I just have pulled out these cards. They are not shuffled in a purpose to work together or ordered in any way. So I'm really excited to work with these two and see if it's a match or not, and see if I can connect with it or not in terms of the tarot deck. So yeah, this was the deck dates video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you to, yeah, get to know some new decks, to get inspired to, yeah, combine different decks together, to work with a tarot and oracle in a combination in general, to maybe put your cosmic reading cards out or your some of these decks that I will work with in this week, to get to know maybe a new deck with the Langustl Tarot. So yeah, feel free to leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts about all these four decks, the Cosmic Reading cards, the Langustl Tarot, the Secret Tarot, and the Earthbound Oracle, if you have any of those in your collection. If you don't, are these on your wish list? What are your thoughts if you have seen some walkthroughs? Was the Langustl Tarot a new deck for you? Have you ever seen that deck before? I would love to hear that. And after seeing it in here, is it a deck that you want to dive deeper into and look deeper into, or is it a deck that you would say isn't for you? And what are your thoughts about these combinations? Um, the combination that I talked about with the Langustl Tarot and the Cosmic Reading cards in terms of what you have seen right here, and also the combination of these two cards. What do you think will be my result in the next video? Will it be a match or not? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you to all of my subscribers for being here, for subscribing. And until next time, bye.